Welcome back to another warm-up show with the hockey coach guru, Coach Frenchy directly from Florida. And we have to go all the way to the north to find the legend, Mr. Enortap, in the house today.
Good afternoon, Coach and Hockey Nation.
Welcome.
Great day today.
Welcome aboard. Another great Monday. I believe this is the show number 40, Mr. Enortap. So, 40 for
like
Mr. The
Coach.
warm-up show. That's pretty good. It's a Monday. We know what's going on around the NHL. Montreal Canadiens, Vancouver may be the next. We have a lot of things. Pittsburgh sold. We're going to talk about all this fun news around, but at the beginning of the show, we welcome everybody. Don't forget each one of you to click on the like. That would be awesome if you can do this. That'd be great. They're going to helping us. We have Mr. Canadian John directly from Westmount and the house. From BC, possible in vacation, what I heard, Mr. Joe, level 3 in the house.
Welcome, Canadian Giants and Joe.
Talk about the man of the man. Why not to say welcome, Mr. Roger Delaney.
Hi, Roger.
From Calgary, Alberta. Fans number 1 for the Edmonton Oilers, Mr. Andy Kuiwula. And directly from L'Île Perrot à Montreal, Mr. Richard Mullen.
Richard.
Awesome.
Here we go. Directly from Vegas, number 1 fans of the Vegas Golden Knight, Mr. Adam, the teacher, the swimmer, Burger.
How's it going, Adam?
And we are to go all the way to the moon. Maybe not on the moon, maybe on Mars. Who knows? But we talk about the CANVA Aerospace and the house. Go Abs go. Greeting to the warm-up show team. Thank you so much, Canadian John. Let's go right away with what we heard right now for Adam. He said, Adam, this way. Youth for the Golden Knight, William Carlson under COVID protocol 19. Nolan Patrick is nowhere close to returning back yet. And Martinez battle had issues. They'll not return, able to return. So all 3 players maybe not come back right away. For the Vegas Golden Knight, they still have a couple injuries. You know, one thing that nobody talk a lot about this, I'm talking about the Adam and I'm talking about Golden Knight, like very quiet about Jack Eichel. Like nobody talk more about what's going on, why he look like recovery or something like that. Nobody really talk about this. So really surprised to see that, you know, like nobody want to talk about this. But talking about Jack Eichel, we're not to talking about Mr. directly from Moncton, New Brunswick, we said... Johnny Golden.
Welcome, Johnny.
Awesome.
Here we go. Mr. Johnny is in the house tonight. I'm sure you have some question about the Montreal Canadiens. What about Mr. Caleb South, directly from North Carolina, number 1 fan of Detroit Red Wings, back in the house. Thanks so much to join us tonight. Here we go. Talk about the legend. Talk about the Mr. Tampa Bay Lightning champion of the last 2 years. Number 1 fans does all the live stream and also the New York Jet and NFL. Mr. Eagle Frank Sport in the house tonight.
You are
Welcome, Eagle.
awesome.
Adam said Eagle's doing well. They have an interview with the doctor today. So it looks like he's doing well. He's a little bit concerned about Nolan Patrick. The doctor did the surgery, has performed the surgery on the 30 other athletes. That's what's happening about that one over there. We're talking about athletes. We're not talking about Utah. And Utah, we have one, only one, but we have the great one, the best of the best, Mr. Ron with Kings 20 in the house.
Welcome, Ron.
It's a Monday. It's a beginning of the... last week in November, honestly, 2 more days and then I'll go in December. So still very close, another month. We're going to see what's happening. We have a couple of news around the league. We have also the 3-star of the week. And we're going to give you two challenge today, Mr. Enortap, about who are they. I cannot tell you who are they. Did I miss the game picks? You missed Sunday, Mr. Eagle, unfortunately. But you did well Friday, Saturday. When we go to changing the graphic, you're going to see the result of this. But Friday, Mr. Rich Mullen, he was the number one, I believe, with Yamo, 11-2. Saturday, in our top coach and someone else. I don't know. Someone got 6-3. Andy Koivula got 6-3 Saturday. And Sunday, we have nobody. Honestly, nobody sent me the pick. I don't think so. I got from Andy, only me and our tap. And I beat in our tap, but don't tell to anybody. So that's
Those
what's
Leafs
happening
are
about
killing
this.
me,
But he
Coach. Those
continues to
Leafs.
find. And our tap, he's wrong because he thinks the game is about find the right score. But the winner is about who has the most the W at the end of
You're
the
forgetting
season.
you're forgetting that the right scores convert to half a point at the end of the year.
You should have a point right there. Eagle, thanks. For today. No, we're not there yet, Mr. Eagle. Usually we do this around 5:30. Tonight we don't have a lot of games, so we're going to start a little bit later, but that's what happened. Welcome back, Mr. John Gregor from Boston. What about Nathan Play? He's back in the house, Mr. Not a problem, Eagle.
John and Nathan.
So, look like I did this in 10 minutes. Johnny Gordon said that Duchamp is talking to the press right now. I know this because I can see his lip moving about that. So, pretty interesting if Trump talk about this. In our top, the legend, John Gregan said, that's awesome. See everyone later. I have a meeting. All right, Adam, I'll see you a little bit. Enjoy the meeting. 4 games tonight in our top, not much action in NHL after a great weekend of Thanksgiving. You think about this, we have to go all the way to Thursday, Wednesday, 14 game, Friday, about 13 game, 9 games Saturday, and yesterday was a busy, I think, 6 game yesterday also. So, but we are back at the regular week about this one over there. So tell me a little bit more about, before everybody, we move on for the news. What pay you attention maybe in the last 72 hours, but honestly, it's more about the last 24 hours. I'm sure you're going to talk about the Montreal Canadiens.
I'm sure nothing's happened lately. I don't know in the NHL. Oh well, of course, what's happened in Montreal, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. I think in terms of games this weekend, a couple stood out. I mean, you look at the Leafs; they've just been fantastic lately. They've been, especially their record on the road. They're winning, and they're winning convincingly. It's not just due to goaltending from Campbell and even Wall as well. So it's great to see the Leafs doing what they're doing. Hopefully they're not sort of at a stage where that'll suffice. I think they need to realize that there's a bigger goal and bigger vision down the road, and they need to convert this to playoff action as well, because that's where they've received the greatest amount of criticism over the last number of years. But it's good to see what they're doing. The other thing that kind of stood out was I was very interested in seeing that Saturday game between Calgary and Winnipeg, especially when Hellebuck and even Scheifele came out and sort of guaranteed that they were going to win. And it didn't look very promising. I personally think Calgary really carried the game for the most part, but in the end, Hellebuck just stood on its head and just kept them in. And it's what we've been saying all along, Coach? That 2-goal lead. It's a bit of a curse because if you don't score that next one, chances are you may not win the game because the momentum switches. And then Connor took over in that third period, and there you have it. They came out on top. even though Calgary played better.
Yeah, Calgary, that game, I think the turnaround, one of our turnarounds, Melin Lucic got a 5 minute game misconduct for that one over there. That's a big one. Then after that, you have a breakaway for Goudreau. Flame could completely hammer the Jet at some point. It was 2-0. I think you have one breakaway for the Calgary at some point, and then he cannot did that one over there. But you can see, like, you have a chance, guys, always listening Sutter after the game. Whatever he winning or losing, he's really entertaining,
Yeah.
but he's always smart. He tell exactly what happening. He's not go around. If a player make a mistake or the player did not do well, they would tell exactly happening. So yes, that game was entertaining. We have a couple of games. I think the Edmonton Vegas 3-2 was another one to watch during the weekend. It was really one. Florida struggle a little bit right now. The Panthers, the Kane lost this again yesterday. The Boston, that's a team where they lost one game and then after that found a way. But again, but the Rangers are flying right now. That's the team's doing well. Vancouver will see happening tonight. And then yeah, a lot of things happening during the weekend. And we have missed miss
You are awesome.
Kelly and the house. The Kelly
Welcome,
and
Kelly.
the house about that, and also Mr. Salut Yamo Vertanen. Welcome back.
Welcome, Yarmo.
And then it goes to the Flyers. The Devil game was good until the third period. That's one minute. On the talk about this, think about the Montreal Canadiens. 1 goal for 40 minutes and 8 goals against Pittsburgh. The Brandon Lemieux beating Kachuk happening this weekend. About the Lestagog jumping on Hegholm this weekend also. So a lot of things happening around the league. Always see how long he will going to be suspension. How many games do you believe he's going to get?
Well, on the Kachuk incident there with Lemieux, um, that's a tough one because there isn't really a lot of precedence about things that happen like that. Like usually you don't hear, players. It's just in the code that you don't bite somebody else. I guess he had his whole hand in his face, and he took advantage of that. I think there's even a little bit of um, there's a bit of a family tradition there in terms of both fathers who didn't like each other as well. So I don't know. To me that should be an automatic 10 gamer. I It probably won't be. It might turn out to be 4 or 5 games, but I don't think we have a place for that in the league.
Yeah, I will give you a number
You
right
know
away, 12.
that would be appropriate, I think. But I don't think we'll see that.
Yeah,
You know,
I think
but
it'll
if they
be
want to
right
send,
there.
if they,
Johnny asked you this question over there. This organization need a fresh Utah.
yeah, absolutely, Johnny. I mean, I think that's what's behind all the moves recently. Two things stand out to me right now. Number one, this team is not as bad as their record indicates. All right, so it's not going to be. And I think Molson was very selective with his words today in the press conference. I don't think that this is a total breakdown and rebuild from the bottom up. I think they have some good players that they're going to hang on to, some good prospects that'll be coming up over the next year or two. They've acquired a good number of draft picks, and I think come trade deadline, they're gonna be very selective in getting maybe rid of, if they can, some of their heavier contracts to acquire some more draft picks. And I if Gordon is on his game, I think he's going to try to get 2023 picks, right? Because I think that's a deeper draft class than this year's. So this year already, unless they start winning, that they're going to be in that bottom, 5 or 6. So they stand a good chance of getting a very good player that way. If they can increase that probability next year and have another 2 or maybe even 3 first round picks for the year coming, then you know what, in I'd say 3 to 5 years, probably 4 years, like you're gonna have a team that's gonna be at that level to compete for sure.
Yeah, the only thing I always said to you about this is like when you're listening, Molson, every time that, I thought about this one that way. And for everybody, you can just think about this. If Montreal have like, I don't know, they have 22 game, 23 game right now, right? And um, and they have like play for 500. This not happen. Yeah, no fire here, nothing. So sometime we have another street like here happening right now. They are the bottom. That give a chance to Molson to reevaluate what's going on here. What is right, what is wrong, what we need to get better, what department we have to increase. And I think that's happening for the Montreal Canadiens. This is just to readjust what we need to have be better. And one thing I would say, this is the biggest organization hockey club in the world for years. They have a history behind them. They cannot be at the bottom for years. So you have to move, make a quick move. John Gordon been there. John Gordon has been there. Jeff Gordon been there with the 2 years with the Rangers. Turn around the team and then make a trade and get better quickly, better, faster. But you have to get some categories or some area. They have to get better. The draft, the development players. That's the two places where they have to get better. Engage more people, and that's what something they have to go.
Scouting.
Analytic department have to be bigger and all the kind of different like that. They talk about the performance department, health, ment, and physicality. Have to find other people over there too. So, and I think also the case are looking Mayo. Mayo, what they talk about is was like a disgrace, everything like that. They took this to turn around to helping. Is going to have a lot of great programs they're going to build now for helping the people with the mental illness, everything like that. So sometime when you have a something, a bad adversity, whenever there's a challenge or something happening, you have to find a way to turn around that part. That's why I consider a fresh start. That's Molson show me a smart man, a businessman, a man have a lot of a skill, a talent. Was patient. What he said, I'm not in charge. They are in charge. I'm not going to tell the public what's going on here. They are, this is their responsibility as the GM to mention what's going on. It's not my part. Me, I just supervise everything like that. I'm not in front of them. So he looked like he knows exactly what he have to do, everything like that. So for me, I was impressed by the way he used his press conference. This for me is a great, not only fresh start, it's really positive. And I think Jeff Gordon is going to bring more the positivity around what he's going to do, everything like that. You have to be patient. You have to reevaluate. It's all sometimes something like that you have to reevaluate. We are a team has been for 10 years about 15 to 22 ranking in NHL. You have maybe 1 or 2 years you go up, 1 or 2 years you go really down. We have to get out of that area, the gray
Yeah.
zone, and to go at the top of the 10, 12, and hanging with the Rangers, the Panthers. And to do that, you need franchise cornerstone players. Without this, you cannot do it. You always be in the middle if you don't have a Barkov or a McKinnon or something like that. So that's what for me, they will have to find that kind of stuff like that. And don't be surprised if he trades Zuski, Caulfield, or something like that. Don't be surprised. Because to get something big, you have to get big. It's a part
Yeah.
always been that way with it. You cannot be, that's the reason maybe Bergevin never do anything because he was scared to trade the Gallagher at 26 years old. The price maybe or another players where he was really young and they don't get better to where the player need more. So I don't say they will trade. I just said don't be surprised. The next, that's the kind of trade sometimes you need to do to get that part of there. Now, right now, Florida missed a left defenseman right now. Knock the door. Don't wait at the trade deadline now. They just lost for a sling. So they will have to figure out that they are 6-7-0, the 13 game in November. They are 6-7, I believe, or 6-7-2, something like that. They struggle at the Panthers and all. So anyway, so just he said what's going on about that one over there. And everything like that. The Pens and
You're,
Flame game, I think interesting tonight. Yes, sir.
you're absolutely correct, Coach. You hit on a number of excellent points there, and I too was impressed by Molson's conference because, like, make no mistake about it, even though they're hiring a GM, the real GM here is Gordner, right? And so um, the whole issue about masquerading this as we're now going out to get a GM, it's really just to appease to the French media and make sure that somebody is communicating the message properly. But the message, the decisions will all come from Gordner up top. He's going to sort of dictate how this rebuild is done, this retool, if you want to call it that. That leads me to believe as well that whoever they get as a GM obviously will speak French, of course, but more importantly, it probably won't be a well established GM in the league. It'll be somebody that needs some experience, and under the tutelage of Gordner, he's going to get that for an extended period of time, and then there could be a succession progress there if Gordner eventually leaves after a number of years, and this person can fit right into place, or they're then prepped to go out and help another team out as a full-time GM of their own.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you find a GM like Dash, we on that. But I wouldn't be surprised if he bring another guy experience also. Like Mellenby was the Mac Bergevin, right? But Timmins was also part of the assistant GM also. So they have 2-3 GM around the team now. It's not like he was before, but my point to you, there would be GM, executive. I wouldn't be surprised to name assistant general manager. And I wouldn't be surprised he knocked the door to Mark Hunter. I just said it's him. But a guy like him, a guy had a lot of experience in NHL, make a couple of things like this, everything like that. Do not be surprised if he surrounds himself with someone from Finland, from Sweden, to get that kind of knowledge about those area, everything like that. That would be another way. Montreal never do that before. So everything like that. Is it Kevin Weeks? Could be another one. Can John Ferguson Jr. can be joined the rig? I don't know. But all kind of names you're going to hear a lot of names in the next couple of weeks for sure. But I believe for me, Mathieu Dash, Daniel Brière could be the one of the players. They talk about Vincent D'Anfos, but not many experience because the show would be run by Jeff Gordon at the end of the day. So there'll be something for them to get that part of there. For how long is Jeff Gordon contract is? Do you know?
No, we don't know yet. I just, from rumor, I heard that it's going to be an extended, a lengthy contract. Now, I don't know what that means. Usually it's 5 years, but I mean, it could be longer.
I expect 5 to 6 years, Nicholas. At that time like that is a 5-6 year. I'll be not be surprised between $4 to $5 million on that one over there.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think Gordon picked the best player to trade for, or does he cave to the French media?
No, he's established. He has a good track record. Like when he was assistant GM with Boston, he helped bring in guys like Kessel, Lucic, Marchand. He's responsible with the Leafs for Rask. He had that trade with Raycroft. And then when he was with the Rangers, he had a hand in bringing in Fox and Panarin, Anajet, I think even Strome, if I'm not mistaken. I know Fox is a little bit of a outlier because he already had declared he wasn't going to go to Calgary or the Hurricanes. So, and he expressed interest in coming to New York. So we'll give him a mulligan for that. But he's got the experience. I think he knows what he's doing. So I trust that he'll do the right things.
The good news about this, Andy, is like you don't have to report to the media. So It's not like everything he does, he don't have to tell the manager what happening, whatever it is. It's going to be another one now. It's going to be like, it's almost like the GM become a PR. He's the guy in charge about the PR. So it's something like that. You know, you don't talk to the GM every day. The really French guy, you have to be French, is almost the coach. Because the coach talks to the players every day. You have to report every morning, every time that, the morning practice, before, after, and then before the game, after the game. So the coach have to really, really speak French. Now, the GM can speak French, but now with two jobs, he don't have to speak French. So it's going to be a PR from the next one over there. So that's how it will work about that one over there. Yamo said, no chance for the lineup roster for the Montreal Canadiens. Jack Allen get the nods for tonight. Mr. Franco said, first of all, Franco, welcome aboard.
Welcome, Franco.
3 games for Brett Marchand today after another slew foot about this. He got 3 games. It's an accumulation of what he did in the past. It's not only because that. It's now is what 2-3 times gets suspended or get fined every time that. So he got that one over there. Johnny said the same thing.
To the Lemieux hearing.
I'm sorry again.
No, I said, and Frank also mentioned he's looking forward to the Lemieux hearing tomorrow. But
yes, exactly.
Like
I said, it'll be interesting to see that for sure. About that. Let's move on to the next thing. We want to talk about this. We have a couple of news before we start maybe the game a little bit earlier so we can see about that one then. So like I said, at the bottom of the screen, you can see Richard Mullen, 11-2 coach, Michael Robinson, Andy Kawivula, 10-3, can go all the way for that part over there. So that's a good thing to say that. Like we do at the beginning of the show, we do some different things. First of all, projected point at that moment with after 20 to 23 game. At that, the pace they play, McDavid and Traisaitl have 139 points. 61 goals for Leon. Alex Ovechkin got 110 with 60 goals. Brett Marchand now he have less more 3 games, so he's going to be only 93 points. But we'll be seeing interesting about that. Panarin 95, Rantanen 93, McKinnon 92, 91 Kuznetsov, Pasternak and Kyle Connor with 47 goals. So that's a projected point they do every Monday about different players with what they are on the stat, everything like that. So I just want to sharing with you about this. The next one I want to say to you is Pittsburgh sold at the Fenway Group Sport for $900 million. That was concluded today. What happening? Nothing. No personal be fired. Everything like that. They let the people in charge. Mario Lemieux be a part of this, part of the team, everything like that. So I just want to mention to you about what's going to happen. But it's confirmed the Fenway Group for the Boston Red Sox bought the team, and it will be with that one over there. Here we go. Who are they? Anybody can tell me who are they?
One of them, the guy on the left looks like Steve Yzerman to me, especially since it's the Joe Louis Arena.
Steve Yzerman, you're absolutely right for one of them. Anybody knows the second one?
Right. Detroit. Like I'm trying to get hints from what they're wearing and where they're located.
I will tell you, it's not easy one. Lane Landberg.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yep. Lane Landberg is the second guy over there. At the same time, Eagles. I wonder how the Panthers, the Flames, will respond to that lose tonight. That's what I'm calling that game. Yeah, both of them lost the game, honestly, about that one there. To be on the road, it would be harder for Pittsburgh. Jerry's doing well. Max Strom's going well. But I'll be honest with you, I have a little bit more confidence for the Flame respond because they are at home tonight and Pittsburgh travel. About this, Eagles had to Rantanen the last game. Yzerman, John Golden said, will Duchamp give the kids more ice time tonight?
I hope so. I mean, it's tough seeing Norlander and Paling that not getting the time that they need. I mean, this is the perfect opportunity to and maybe now that Gordner's in place or will be very soon, uh, that message will come from the top down to the coach to say, hey, let's play some of these players a little bit more because I need to learn and observe and do the right thing. So I need to see what they have in their game, how they react under different situations when they're winning, when they're losing, when they get hit, when they are on the power play, when they're on the penalty kill, whatever the case might be. And you're not going to learn very much by playing them, 8 to 10 minutes a night.
I
I
agree
think
with
that
you.
they
The only
have to
thing,
increase.
the second thing they did now, they protect Suzuki. Now they are on the third line. So Suzuki playing now on the third line with Caulfield and Lekonen this tonight.
Okay, that's good.
So they put Devorek up and Jake Even a little bit up. They keep their players, but interesting to see that about that. And the wine play with Jake Even and Gallagher. I forgot about this one. The 3-star of the night, Alex Ovechkin for the week, Tristan Jarry and Kel McCarr. 7 points for Ovechkin and McCarr, 4 goals for McCarr, and 4 game. Then Jarry 3-0-0, 0.67, save percentage 978, and 1 shutout. A great performance. And then the veteran Alex Ovechkin continues in 3 games, 7 point. Great performance of him. And what's the name of this stadium?
Oh, that's a toughie, coach. There's no hints. Take a guess and say
If you have a logo
the
in the
old
middle, I
forum.
know it would be easy. So I removed the logo.
If, if it was an Oriental little girl there, then I would know it's the Montreal Forum, but I
But
don't
think
think
about
so.
this guy. Check the first bowl at the bottom. Look, the seat it was split in 3 sections at the bottom. That's pretty cool. That's pretty
Yeah,
unique. We don't see
yeah,
this, right? And they are not elevate. The first, it's really low, right? It's not like a degrees, 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 50. You know what I mean? It's really like 20 degrees from the bottom to the top at the first bottom.
yeah. No, that's very true. So, what's the verdict, coach?
Chicago Stadium.
Chicago Stadium. Okay.
The Chicago
That was a
Stadium,
great
guys.
stadium.
So we talk about a long, long time about that one over there.
Oh,
And finally,
that Oregon.
finally
I
for
know that guy.
everybody and for you, my last question is about Mac Bergevin. Which team is going to be higher?
Uh, well, there was a lot of speculation that he might be going out to LA. That was one option. I wouldn't be surprised if 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 things continue poorly in Chicago that he lands back there. It's a distinct possibility.
Yep, possible about that. I will not be surprised. Vancouver, Anaheim, and my third
Yeah,
choice, Los
that's
Angeles.
right.
Yep. So Pierre Martin, welcome aboard. John Gregor was Chicago. Yep, he was Chicago. About that, it's time in our tap. If we have to finish early, we can finish early. It's not a big deal. We have a couple of players hurt, everything like that. We have not many, really. Only Forsling for the Florida Panthers, really the
Florida.
big one over there. They have in our tap a couple of protocol 19, but otherwise pretty quiet on that side over there. So let's dive in about the first game of the night, the Vancouver versus the Montreal Canadiens, 6-14-2 for both of them. And what is your selection of the night for that game?
Well, it's a juggernaut of a game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, here you have two teams that like find themselves at the bottom of their respective conference standings so far. The Canadians, after a successful run to the Cup last year, right to the finals, it's difficult to see them in this position. And Vancouver, same thing. So many good things were projected for them, and yet here we see the same old problem emerging. So we'll see changes there probably happening more than likely. Um, we're going to see if Montreal can finally put back-to-back games tonight, especially after that great game that Jake Allen played the other night against Pittsburgh, where he was peppered with 50 shots and made 47 saves, which was his career high, by the way. Allen's has an average of 3.02 goals against this season, but at home he's 2.78. So he definitely seems to play better at home. And since 2015, the Canadiens are 14-0-4 against Vancouver. So I think that pattern will continue tonight. I think there's going to be more problems ahead for Vancouver, and we'll see if this game that I think Montreal will win 5-3 will trigger any changes, or whether they'll wait till the next game before something materializes.
Yeah, one of the best team against is Montreal versus Vancouver. 7:30 and 142 game is the game tonight. They play for 7:30 winning percentage against Vancouver guys. It's unbelievable. You think about this, like over 140 game, and then you have like you win every 10 game. You win 7 of them all the time. So pretty amazing when you think about that.
Absolutely.
Abs.
So you took Vancouver, coach?
5-3, and I took 3-2. Both teams cannot score.
They cannot score. Well, we'll see. I think it'll be over. I think this was the total was 5 or 5.5 for this. So we'll see. I think it'll go over.
Well, one team have 2.27, another team have 2.17. So,
there you go.
Look like the goaltender is going to look like Carey Price and Dominic Hasek tonight.
Absolutely.
Next one, Seattle 7-13 won, a big win. They did well on the South Florida trip, honestly. And then Buffalo 8-10-3. They win again in Montreal Friday, but again, they still struggle. They lost again Detroit after that and OT, but they got 3 points on the fourth. But prior to that, they lost like 10 of the 12 game prior to that one over there. So Tokarski and Drager are confirmed for tonight.
Yeah, and another juggernaut of a game is so here we have the 4 bottom league teams all playing each other tonight. So it's either going to make very bad hockey or they're properly matched, and we're going to see good games. Seattle actually has turned a corner recently. Like following that 6-game losing streak, they've won 3 out of their last 4 games, and they've actually been against very good teams. So hopefully that's an indication of things to come. I think that's what Francis was kind of looking for when he built this team. They've been led by Jordan Eberle recently. He played his 800th game the other night against the Florida Panthers. And he's always a streaky player, even when he was with the Islanders. He's currently at 16 points, and he's tied for the team lead in points with Jaden Schwartz, who's also been playing very, very well as well. The Sabres, they fell for the 11th time in their past 14 games. I think for them, their biggest problem has been, even though Tokarski hasn't played poorly, they should seriously consider maybe picking up a Murray. I know the money situation is bad, but it's tough throwing a team that has some promising youth to games, and they've been playing well. It's not that they just can't hold on to the lead, and these are all signs of a very inexperienced team. There's a bit of a lack of leadership that can sort of solidify them. it's unfortunate to see. They are at home, and their home record has been much better than their road record. So I'm going to take Buffalo to win this game, 4-3.
Buffalo 4-3. Kelly, I will need your score. I know you want Buffalo, but what is the final score? 3-1. Kraken.
Kraken, all right.
I'm
door
all
open.
under tonight.
I think I'm over in most games.
I know. The Arizona versus
Yeah.
Winnipeg. Arizona 4-15-2. Winnipeg 10-7-4. Arizona on the trip on the West Canadian this week. Vejmelka versus Alibok, the goaltender. Vejmelka was not likely. Alibok was confirmed. What is your expectation about that corner? And finally, they scored 4 goals. Last game, it was not many goals for the last couple of games for Winnipeg, honestly. And Arizona, you have to give him credit. Whenever they have 15 game lost, they work hard. They are really working hard. They never give up. And, it's a team can surprise you if you don't show up during those games.
Yeah, definitely, Coach. And one of those goals that they scored against Calgary was in the empty net. So I know it counts, but they really only scored 3 out of with the 5-on-5. Winnipeg's offense I saw a bit of a spark when Maurice reunited the line of Connor with Wheeler and Scheifele. Wheeler probably had his best game of the season. I think he had 2 assists in that game. And Connor had the 2 goals. So it's good to see that they're coming out of it, because they're just too good of a team on paper, and even I think in reality. But they can't keep going back to this recipe where, they play only a certain portion of the game, and then take a bit of a vacation and rely on Hellebuck to back them up all the time. I think that has to change. I think that they have to find some stability with their lines and see what works best. So that'll be interesting to see if Paul Maurice can juggle that and do the right thing. The Coyotes, as you said, they've been playing much better lately. They recently had some good games against a couple of opponents that they were projected to be blown out of the rink with. And part of that is the goaltending that they've been getting. Scott Wedgwood, when he got picked up on waivers from New Jersey, he's really come along, and he's responded well. He's got a 245 goals against average with a 929 save percentage. So that's really what's kept them in the game, and they've been kind of opportunistic to take to make the most out of the chances that they're given. The problem here is between these two teams, Arizona and Winnipeg. They have the 2 worst penalty kills in the league right now at current time, and the Coyotes right now are 0 for 10 on the power play, and Winnipeg is 2 for 28 in their last 11 games. So I think both teams are going to obviously try to stay out of the penalty situations. I think the Jets are going to come on top of this, and they're going to win 4-1.
5-2. You're going to score on power, please, tonight.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Something's got to give, right?
That's why I give you more goal for them tonight. Last game of the night. I think this is the game of the night, honestly. The bottom bowl between Vancouver and Montreal, right? And then Seattle, Buffalo. So you think about this, all 4 teams, maybe Buffalo a little bit, but again, those 4 teams on the bottom of this with Arizona, that's 5 teams over there, right? And then really Pittsburgh, Calgary, they are in the middle of the standing. Every time that, they're looking a little bit better. Pittsburgh have a good stretch before they lost the last game against Montreal Canadiens. Calgary doing well, lost the last game, honestly. Jarry confirmed, Max Strom confirmed, two of the best goaltender in NHL this year. Race for the Vizina. Jarry surprised a lot. So it'll be interesting, that game. 10-7-4, 12-4-5. Here we go.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is going to be a tale of the goalies here. Jerry's really held Pittsburgh in the games that he's played. There were doubts at the beginning of the year based on how he played last year, but so far this year he's really held up for Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's starting to come together. And by that I mean, in getting some of their players back, like especially Crosby. It took a while for him to get sort of acclimatized again with the speed of the game, and also with his line mates, and Gunsel's really profited from Crosby's return, because he's been scoring in his last 5 or 6 games, which he wasn't doing at the beginning of the year. So they're a bit ticked off for losing to Montreal, even though they played a very good game, right? Like, you got to say Jake Allen stole that game for them, and they had a bit of a chip on their shoulder themselves, Montreal, because of that 6-0 shellacking the previous time they played. On the other hand, Calgary, they played a solid game, like I said before, against Winnipeg. And they probably deserved a better fate, but I don't think that they want to lose 2 in a row here, especially since it's in Calgary. So I'm going to take Calgary to win this game 4-2.
4-2. All right, Eagle, I chose for you Calgary 4-1, but for me, I took Calgary also for 3-2 tonight. So that would be a close game again about that one there. Impressed by Richard Modern. He said Pittsburgh tonight. Kelly said Buffalo and Arizona tonight. Eagles said also Arizona. And that's pretty much what we have. And nobody took Vancouver. Yes, Vancouver, Aiton, Koivula, and took the Vancouver one, honestly. The rest all. So pretty amazing. It's great to see those people take kids fun score. That's the beauty of what we do. Thanks for your participation. Don't forget to click on the like. That'd be great if you can do that. Thank you so much. Also, Valentino, be a part of the show tonight. Calgary will score 4 goals, no doubt. What she said. Kelly, the insider of Toronto Maple Leaf. So thank you. That's enough.
That fourth goal will be an empty net goal, I think.
So yeah, it's possible about that one over there. I think about this too. Yeah. Finally, the fantasy hockey for tonight, the pick was really light, to be honest with you. After I saw you pick, so geez, what the heck I have to do now? But go ahead.
What's left, right? I was thinking the same thing as I was picking them. In net, I'm going to take Hellebuck from Winnipeg. And on defense, I'm going to go with Quinn Hughes, Vancouver, and Darlene from Buffalo. And forwards, we're going to go with the Bread Eater, Mangiapane. We're going to go with Connor from Winnipeg, and Suzuki.
Suzuki 1 point the last 7 games.
Right, so I think he's due.
Like and Yamo, he said you should take Likanen, by the way. Max Strom for me. I go with Pionk and Anderson. And you go with Suzuki. I say, you know what? I'm going to go with Toffoli. But after that, I stay with Calgary, Langholm, and Goudreau. And I could take also Tkachuk because Kelly said that. And Roger said 7-3 Montreal. I got it on that one over there, Roger. If you want to get other score, guys, you can do it. Like 591. Is that 4? Okay, it's 4-3 right there.
4-3 Buffalo, and he has 3-2 Montreal, and 4-2 Jets.
4-3 Buffalo, 3-2 Montreal,
4-2 Jets,
and 4-3
Flames.
Flames. Awesome. Thank you so much. Perfectly at the right time. You show up at the right time. So did they give any timeline for Hagel being able to play? We expect 3 month minimum about that one over there. So that was the number of the people. 951, welcome aboard. Roger Delaney said they gave 7-3. Thank you so much. 591.
Coach, I heard that really with Eichel, with the type of surgery that he had, basically he could be up on his skates like in a couple weeks after the operation and actually skating very lightly. It's just that he can't obviously have any contact for quite a while. So that's where the timeline will sort of take us to. I think at least till Christmas, probably even in January before we see him. And you can rest assured, Vegas is
Exactly.
not going to rush him back.
I agree with you. Jason Fraser, welcome aboard. Thanks for joining us tonight at the show. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. That'd be great. I just want to mention to you, for everybody, to about all the update in the NHL. Nico Shin for Colorado is COVID-19, or he looked like he's sick. Gugliano left the San Jose for personal effort. Amadio for Vegas is back. Peterson for San Jose is back. Christian Fisher is going to be back with Arizona tonight. Oli Yo Levy for Florida is going to be out day today. D'Angelo, Peche, McKee for New York Ranger, all three are on the protocol 19 COVID. And then Rosie, Joseph, Riquel, and Forsling are all injury. And that's what the last update of every player right now happening for the last 24 hours in our tap about that one over there. Ce soir, on va avoir notre première 2 victoires de la suite. Bonsoir tout le monde. Bruno arrive au bon moment. And 951 said, what could happen if Eagle get what we learned before he did his study or the search? Look like when he full recovery, the contact won't be a problem for the body. You know, that's what he said. I don't know it right or wrong. I don't want to speculate something I don't know. But what he said, after this full recovery, he recovered at 99.999%. So I think the contact not going to be a major problem under his case. Mr. Enortap, 556. Anything you want to add before we said bye to everybody?
Yeah, we're you know what, Coach, I want to close it off sort of the way we opened it up, going back to the big news of the day and even the weekend, and that's with Bergeron leaving. You know what? I don't think that this was so much a reaction to the fact that Bergeron did a bad job. Personally, and I know many people will probably disagree with me, but that's fine. Of course, everybody's entitled to an opinion. But I think overall, he didn't do a bad job here in Montreal. If we're going to say, how many cups did he win in that 9 years? Well, yeah, then he did a bad job. But as you know, it's not easy to win the cup. It takes quite a bit in the interim time. I mean, he did bring them to a Stanley Cup final. He did bring them to 3 division titles. They were in the playoffs 6 out of those 9 years. Maybe if they didn't have some of the injuries that they had, they could have been in more than just 6. And he, did he make some bad trades? I think there were a couple that we can all speculate on that were not good. But for the most part, he did bring a lot to the team. What I really appreciated from Bergeron is that he gave his heart and soul to the team, and he showed his emotions, and it's what we've been complaining about that Dominic Ducharme doesn't show, and we wish we could see more of that. So that's the kind of GM that I'd like to see in place. I know now he's gone. Obviously, I wish him personally the best wherever he goes. except when he plays Montreal, of course. But I just want to wish him the best because I think he did a pretty good job here, and that's it.
Yep, absolutely right about that one over there. I think for me, another one I'll hold. It's more about the relationship between Molson and Bergevin. Whatever happening this weekend, he got fired. They're still friends. They're still close. They're still like nothing happened. Honestly, they knows and they understood. They have no cold, like a divorce or something. Is mad to each other. They still conscious, and Bergevin understood the situation perfectly, and he react like a professional behind that part over there. So I think for me, that's the best thing about that situation. So he been there. He know what it's hard. He fired Julien. He fired Stephen Waite. You know what I mean? Like he cut with a lot of people with many years experience with together, grow together. Millenby, everything like that. And but I think at the end of the day, they understood what's the best for interest of the team. He understood. So for me, the reaction back Bergevin, for me, is professional. That's the most important thing about this. 240, continue to rack up the point against his old team. Possible. That's the reason I put him tonight on my fantasy team. Average, he gave a B solid to Bergevin. I think that's exactly what I gave me, a B for Marc Bergevin. About that one over there, and Nicholas is agree with you about that one over there. Everybody's agree always with Enortap. He always said the right things at the end of the day, so that's why we call him.
You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
Mr. Enortap, thank you so much again for your participation as a collaborator of the warm-up show. For each one of you inside this messenger, or thank you so much again for your participation. For everybody gave us your prediction, and you been here since the beginning of the show. Thank you so much. Or you show up at the last minute. Don't forget to click on the likes. That'll be really appreciated. Don't forget, we're going to be back at 7:30 for the live stream tomorrow morning. I'll be back also, and tomorrow night, Mr. Enortap is going to be back also with more prediction and talking about what happening for the last 24 hours. Until then, we wish you an amazing, blessing, great evening Monday night. And don't forget to be well and be healthy. Thank you so much, Mr. Enortap. Have a great night.
Likewise, Coach. Good night, and good night, House.
Thank you, Eagle. Andy Kuiwula. Fire 951.
I'd rather want you to just let me be. Oh, oh, oh. What do
John Gregor. Kelly. Canadian Giant. Nicholas. Yamo. Bruno. Jason Razor.
What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I say so? We're just putting on a show.
Johnny Golden. Enortap. Awesome Eagle. Gold Grand Cross, we miss you, buddy.
Come on, get a grip now of all the ways we parted. You
Dan
showed me
Asham.
no way we would stand
Good evening.
and we would fall united. Come on, get a grip now. Just finish what you started. Don't like the feeling that I've been fooled, deceived, and so misguided.
Roger Delaney. Valentino.
What do
Run
I
with
know?
Kings 20. Richard Mullen.
Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I let go?
Franco Iacono.
What's going on now? Is this another
Nathan
breakdown?
Play.
Should I say so?
Of course,
We're just
Eagle
putting
Fang
on a
Sports.
show.